He's right to say women and men. The Washington Post just ran a headline which read, "Growing number of men accuse Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault. 8 of the recent 13 suits against Combs have come from young men. Some claim they were even minors at the time." One of these alleged victims claims Diddy and several high-profile celebrities forcibly raped him at a freak-off party. These lawsuits have led to a broader conversation about the music industry, really twofold. One is there an almost like power and control through sex dynamic in hip-hop? And does it involve people not just as victims, but those at the top and those who had to go through it to get to the top? Ray J knows not just Diddy, but the business and the culture. He joins us now. It's good to see you again.
What's up, Chris?
So, Ray J, help us understand. The uninitiated, the idea of consenting adults, males, straight males, being victimized or agreeing to have sex with other men as part of an industry. You believe that that is a possibility?
I think it's a fact. I think it's a fact that's been going on. I was born in '81, but it's been going on, especially at least since the '90s, and that's just me knowing what it is. I'm not going to say seeing what it is, but having certain friends who has told me about this and what they do and why they do it, and still try to say that they don't really like it, right? It's a power trip, and it hits hard. It hits hard. And not only is it the truth, it's real hard. And there's no way to do this and to take somebody without their consent. And if that arouses you, then that must mean this is who you are, so you don't need to hide it. But at the same time, it's just all dark. I can't, everything that they're saying about Diddy is alleged, but it's happening. It's happening in today's society, and it's not okay. And I'm not cool with it. And I've spoken on it, and I've even gotten upset a few times in the past on recent interviews and made threats that I would have somebody do that to somebody, right? That's how crazy my mind went, just because of certain things that I'm from the West Coast, and Death Row days was pretty crazy, and that's what was going on. Growing up sometimes in this industry, it's messed up.
So what we're talking about is not men who are gay who don't want to be known as gay for whatever cultural or personal reason. You're saying that there are people that people know who are big stars who have been victimized or have had to consent to sexual acts that they didn't want to, but that's the way it is in the industry, even man on man, man on woman, woman on woman, that it could go any way.
It could go any way, and it's sad because, you want to be in the entertainment industry, and if that's what you got to do, and that's not what you even like to do, and that's what you're made to do, it's insane. And it must be a crazy, mind trip, after that happens. And I know a few celebs that have been in that kind of crazy situation, and they haven't been the same since. It's like, ask what we could do for our country. Ask the country, or right now in this situation, I can't do that because all I would be thinking about is them thinking about my ass. It's just not okay.
That is not okay.
I mean, if that's not what you with, right? And so, again, we're in a crazy situation right now. It's a lot of people coming out saying a lot of things, even in that space. Who knows if that's true or not, but I can tell you this. What is true is that people are being taken, and it's not cool.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.